Welcome back to the homestead. Today we're getting ready to plant potatoes. Well, I should say get the potatoes ready to plant. That's more like it. I bought some seed potatoes. These are Yukon Gold. The people at the greenhouse said that the Harvest Gold are the same as Yukon Gold. What do you guys think? Are they the same? Have you had experience with one or the other? If you have, let me know in the comments. Because whenever I was growing up, the only thing that my parents grew were the big old white potatoes. I think they were kitty back. So this is my first go around with this type of potatoes. These are a lot bigger than what the Yukon Golds that I've been buying in the grocery store are. So fingers crossed that we get a lot of really big potatoes. This is still a good one. That one's a little small. It's about the average size. Have you guys had problems finding seed potatoes this year? I called about 5 or 6 places before I finally found some. And actually, I had to go to 2 different places to get mine. The first place only had like 10 pounds of potatoes. Fortunately, the second place had the rest of what I wanted. Let me show you the difference in these potatoes. That right there, the soggy one, it seems like it's a lot older. Came from the place that had about 10 or 11 pounds. And then this one that's still firm enough to actually cut the eyes off and cook came from the second place. Okay. What you have to do on potatoes is you have to make sure that they have these little purple things on there. Those are eyes on there that have sprouted. And by eyes, I mean these little bitty things right here. Looks like a blemish or an imperfection or whatnot on a potato. That's actually what produces your new potatoes. So they sprout like this right here, and you plant them. This one has got one good eye, and then one that's starting to grow. Okay, I can do one of 2 things with this potato. It's small, so I can just plant a hole. Or I can cut this in half and make 2 potato plants. So it just all depends. A lot of these, I separated them as I went, guys, trying to save some time. But this one is a good sized potato, but if you'll notice, there's only one eye. So as much as what I would like to make, I don't like wasps. As much as I would like to make 2 potato plants out of this one, I can't, because it only has one eye that's sprouted. There's several of these that only have the one eye. And then like this one has 2 good eyes that are sprouted. So what I'm going to do on this one is cut it down the middle. I've got one good one on this one and one good one on this one. Okay, I can't just take this and plant it today because it would rot. So again, I have an option of what to do. I've read that you can put sulfur, a little bit of sulfur powder in a bag and shake these up and coat them. That way they shouldn't rot. But the easier way for me, and the way that I have always seen it done in the past, is I'm just going to cut the ones that can be cut, that have the extra eyes like that. I'm just going to lay them on my table. two good eyes. So I'm going to lay it on the table. Okay, and when I get enough cut to fill up the space, if I don't get stung first, when I get enough cut to fill up the space that I have available on the table, I'm going to have to quit. We'll pile them up some more, but I can't do them all at one time. There's nowhere to let them spread out and dry. So after a couple of days, they will form a little skin on top of them, and they shouldn't rot after that. But the ones that are like this, the ones that are like this with only one eye on there, they're going to go in the garden here in a little bit. It's early May, and I should have already had these planted. But like I say, I had a terrible time finding potatoes. I was about ready to give up, but thankfully we found some. But I'm just going to get back to slicing these potatoes up so they'll get a head start, and we'll go down and put these in the garden in a little bit. Don't think I can use this one.
Yeah, you can. Here, let me. I'll throw it in the way.
Okay.
Do you want me to throw it over the hill?
Yeah, over the hill.
Yeah, you aren't going to be able to use this one.
No.
That one looks rotten.
Well, I've cut several potatoes, and I'm very fortunate. That's the only really bad one that I've cut so far. Hopefully the rest of them, are usable, because I want to put a lot of potatoes in the jar this year. If I put them in a jar, I mean can. I'll put a link to that in the description box below. Okay, guys. I've got the potatoes cut into pieces like I was talking about a few minutes ago. All of these right here had the multiple eyes on there. Like this one, I would cut it right here, and I'd have two potatoes. But this is all the space that I have on the table right now. They need to set for a day to 3 days and skin over, and then I can plant them without them rotting. All of these potatoes right here, even though they're pretty big potatoes, they only have one set of sprouts on there. So I'm just going to plant that whole. Earlier, I was talking about these potatoes right here were still firm enough that you could eat. Well, several of these over here had sprouts on one end, but they were the good firm potatoes. So I just cut them in half, and these are going to be for dinner tonight. So see you guys in a bit. We're getting ready to go put these in the garden.